Hello, good morning. No, it's not morning. It's night. It's night here, but it could be morning where you are watching right now because maybe you've already gone to bed tonight because it's 9:30 here at my house in the evening. And but I just took a nap. See, you know what I have done? Well, let me tell you what I'm doing here. I'm this is the this is the stitch that I did on Monday. It's the fern stitch. And so this was my piece of the week, which I'll always have a piece for the week when I am doing my slow stitching. So whatever I start on Monday, I will have videos throughout the week that include the continuation of the piece because I can never finish the piece completely in the 1 hour or 1 hour and 15 minutes that I do my live stream. So I will always add pieces throughout the week. So I did this one on my last video, standalone video, and it kind of just showed a little bit about where I put these stems in for these two flowers right here. I changed my camera angle hoping, because I can't zoom in, I thought, well, if I change my camera angle, that maybe you all can see a little bit better. It's got an autofocus on there that I cannot figure out how to turn it off. But so if you get that little flashing like that, there's nothing I can do about that. There might be something I can do about it, but I don't know how to go about that. So I have pieces in this little bag. Is so awesome. Um, Papa got a birthday gift of a wallet from dear Stephanie, and the package, it was packaged in this little fabric package, this little fabric bag, and so I thought, oh, I'll take that because I can use that. So I put that to use to keep some of my little pieces in here that I thought I maybe would use on this piece. And so, and I'm on this piece, I'm using muted colors on here, and right now I'm kind of concentrating on this piece down here. Although we don't put we don't put a lot of thought or concern or whatnot into our pieces. We just have a good time, and we just add things wherever we think that they should go. And so then what I did was just picked out a few pieces that I just kind of thought might look good and go well with this completed piece, which maybe these ones right here will. And so I don't want to cover, of course, the whole thing up, because because I don't, I want to keep it. I want to be able to see. I want to see it. I want to see. I want to kind of. As you can see, I started with that piece of like upholstery material, and I love the colors in there. And the fabric is more of a heavy, like a duck cloth or something heavier that you would use like a cushion cover, maybe. And but then I took out just a few little pieces. And you know what? See, here is where I cut this Battenberg lace, and maybe along that cut edge, I would want to put a little piece like this here. A little piece like this here, and that would cover up that cut edge and add a little something. No, I don't want to put any pink in there. That would not work for me. I've been looking at this, but I'm thinking that maybe that would be too much for that piece. And there's another little piece like that, which I could put right there. And so I might like that. Maybe that might be something that I like. This might be too white down here. Maybe I want to put this like this right down here. That might be what I want to do. But I'm going to carry on with this green thread, which I have here. Did I use this one or did I use the spool? I think I used this one. Well, that's what I'm going to use now anyway. And so I'm going to do that. I've been feeling a little bit lousy lately. That's the only word I can do. Well, I have to say that I think, you know, and I did some research. I did not go to the doctor, but I did some research. And if you go along on the internet, you will see symptoms and such as for the COVID-19. And on my research, I saw 80% of the people that have been diagnosed with COVID-19, 80% of them have very mild symptoms. And the mild symptoms can be just a runny nose and just a general feeling of lousy, just general feeling of fatigue, and just can't seem to get motivated. And I can fit those because I never have the sniffles. I do not have allergies, never have had any allergies. And so but lately I have had the sniffles and just a slight amount of congestion. And on my research I did, it shows that most people with 80% of people that have been diagnosed with COVID have just those symptoms. And so I have kind of diagnosed myself. Now, some people might say, well, that's pretty stupid. Well, maybe it is. But I feel like if I go to be tested, then I am just, if I go to be tested, I am setting myself up for more germs. If I go to the ER or a walk-in clinic or doctor's office, you know, then you're setting yourself up for even more. And what I read, even in the as I was doing my research, as I read that that the cure for this minor bit of COVID would be just rest and to rest and to what is that? Quarantine. So that is what I am doing. I am resting, and I am definitely going to quarantine for because this is what I think I have. And I know that, you know, some people are thinking, well, you know, you can't really diagnose yourself. You're not a doctor. Well, and that's true. I'm not a doctor, and I cannot really diagnose myself. But I do believe that just in the event that this is what this is, you know, I could pass it to somebody else. And I have no fever. I don't have that. But I could pass it on to somebody else, and somebody else might be more susceptible to getting sicker than what I am. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep myself quarantined. And and that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll just stay busy, and I'll make sure I wash my hands, and I'm taking extra vitamin C and zinc, and that's all I can do. I don't think I want to go for any test. I don't think I want to go. And then another thing is, like, I'm hoping that this is what it is, because there is still that belief that if you have it once, you're not going to get it again. You are then immune. And so I'm kind of hoping that this is just a very mild strain of the COVID. Now, I don't get sick. I don't think I've ever had the flu. Although I do get a flu shot every year and get my pneumonia shot. I have had pneumonia a couple of times, but the pneumonia has been caused by another issue that I have that gets out of hand sometimes whenever I have the pneumonia. But now if I get like a spike of fever or something, then maybe I'll go and have somebody professional check. But for right now, I'm just diagnosing myself with a very mild case of the COVID, which will give me the protection I will need to from getting it any worse. And yeah, my name is Dr. Scrappin' Lizzie. Oh, you know what? Sometimes I keep sometimes my needle, my strength goes kaputski, and I can't put my needle through, so I keep my pliers right there. I don't know, they're neoprene or something tipped pliers, and I keep them there so I can pull my needle through. And yeah, so like today, I've had 3 naps today. Then I get up and I made a video earlier. I had gotten a Happy Meal from Cordula, and so I called her on the phone to tell her that I had her Happy Meal. And then I said, well, why don't I just go ahead and leave you on the phone, and then I'll go ahead and open my Happy Meal online on a video, because that's usually how I do it. And so that's what I did. Although you couldn't hear her in the video too much, although she was on the phone. And she gave me some beautiful things. And speaking of Happy Meal, I want to show you again, because I did the one on the video, but then I have another. Now this one was from Leslie Smith. Leslie Smith says, I am so thrilled to find your videos. You do brighten my day. I live in Massachusetts right now. I'm visiting my son in Virginia. To let you know about me, I am so interested in crafts. I enjoy Bible studies, writing letters, genealogy, and journaling. I am a widow with several children, several grandchildren, and a fur baby, Rocky. The weather here is cold and somewhat rainy. Nothing much happening. Say hi to Papa. You are both a beautiful couple. Sincerely, Leslie. And that was so kind, and thank you so much, Leslie. This is so kind. And in the envelope here is a journal that she made. But she took this was some kind of maybe a planner at one time that probably was from years ago. She put a little, she's got, you could actually put a strap on there because it's got 2 little hooks. But she put a little tassel on there, and then it snaps closed, and there's a place right there that there's a pen, and she put that pen in there. And then Inside, she's got a pocket right here that I can add. I can add things I want to keep in here. Faith is the friend that comes along when things just seem to go all wrong. And I thought how nice that is. And then I love teddy bears, and that's what she's got. Now these pages, I noticed, are made out of brown paper bags. She made them out of brown paper bags. And so then each bag has got the pocket inside that you can add treasures into. She put a pocket here with flowers, and look how pretty they are. Now these flowers, I can use these either for journaling notes. I can put little notes, or I could use those into something else, you know, into another project. And then here we go with another paper bag. And then here are 2 tags she made using packaging. But look how pretty that is. And packaging that you would normally just throw away or put in the recycle, well, here it is in use. And let's see what's in here. Then here are some more journaling tags. These are pretty. These are all the same. And so these can be used as just for journaling, or they can be used as in other projects. But I think that this would be nice for journaling. And then here, see how it's the bag. You can see the whole bag is glued together there. And then there, that made another pocket. And inside there's the leaf and a beautiful butterfly. I think I want to color that butterfly. That's very pretty, very pretty. This is so ingenious. And then here's another bag here, again with some of the same journaling cards that just fit right in that bag. So there's one bag, there's another paper bag, and a third paper bag. So there's 3 paper bags in there, which is just awesome. And and then of course the pocket right here. And I was thinking when I was first looking at this, and the pen is purple. And it comes from the Brooklyn Women Empowerment Group. Oh, from Brooklyn. And that fits right in there. And so what I was thinking, because this is such a good size and it's so well made, that you could put, you could use this in your purse, which I handmade with love, it says. Oh, and then even on the outside. So if I have this in my pocketbook, if I keep this in my pocketbook, and then in each of those pockets, I can have my grocery list or my notes, or sometimes I have to keep, you know, since I don't really go anywhere except doctor's offices, sometimes I need to keep, you know, sometimes they might give me a form that I have to bring to the lab or something. I could put that in here, and it always would be in here, and then that would stay secure, where a regular journal really wouldn't, you know, it would open and lose things, and this one you wouldn't lose anything. And so I'm very impressed with this, that she took this. It was probably a planner that probably went out of date. I love the color. It's pink. Oh, and it's got a little button, like a little brass button here that is precious moments. And so this, and look, it's got the metal corners on there. It's and so it must have been originally for a precious moments, maybe a you know what I just said, like a planner. And so, but that with that pocket on the outside and the 4 pockets on the inside, I've got a lot of space. And I do think that this is going to go in my purse. And then that way I can, I mean, it's got a pen in there. So as long as I keep, you know, note papers in here, I can, and like on this, I can write notes already. So I've already got note papers in there. But then if I get like an order from the doctor to go get the blood work or something, it can just fold up and put in that envelope. Then I'd always know where that is. And so yeah, I think that this is going to be very handy, and I thank you so much. And I'm so glad that you joined our group. Her name is Leslie Smith. Leslie Smith. And so, and I appreciate this more than ever. This is beautiful. And so, you have brightened my day with this. So between you today and Cordula today, I have been just blessed beyond, not just, now I dripped it in the floor. Well, that's not nice. Okay, so anyway, now what I did is I just sewn this piece of lace on, and when you're doing your slow stitching, you, I want to tie a little knot on the back so I can then cut it. When you're doing your slow stitching, like I've said before many times, you don't follow a pattern. Now you can lay something out so that you can lay something out to where you kind of want, you put things where you think maybe you're going to want them to be, and see if you like it, which you probably will. I'm going to take this safety pin. I put this safety pin in here just for beauty reasons, but I'm going to take that out. I'm going to put it back in, but I'm going to take it out because I think I want this little piece of lace here, and I think I want to just put that around, because then that's covering up that cut edge of the Battenberg lace. So I think I want that to be right there. And then there's just a small piece that I cut from the Battenberg lace there, and this piece looks as if it will fit right there. Okay, right here I'm going to cut the edge of this off. I don't need that. I didn't get it all the way over to this side, so I'm thinking that maybe I would put this right here. And where did I put my button box? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I've got buttons. And so I love the look of buttons too. And so what if I put a bat there with a button right in the middle? I think that would be very pretty. Okay, then this here, where did I put that pin? Oh, there it is. I'm going to put this safety pin. Oh, let me see. I wanted that to go over or under. There we go. I'm going to put that safety pin now right in here, because sometimes just a safety pin is gorgeous, just pinned by itself. Or you can even pin a piece of something on. It doesn't have to be stitched. Okay, now so I am thinking that this, I like this right here. This is definitely going to go right here on this corner. And then I'm going to just put that button there. And so I'm going to start the stitch from the top because I want to tie it. And so I'll put that in there. And so I'll get that in there. Just get that. I know my hands cover up everything I'm doing, but I still do the best I can. Okay, and so then I have, by putting that button on there, I do not have to stitch the actual little doily piece on there because the button is holding that doily piece on there. And so then I will snip that, and I'm just going to tie that in a little bow. I really will tie that in a little bow. Scene 1, take 2. Tie that in a little bow. Well, I'm not going to tie it in a little bow. I'm just going to snip it off. It's just like a little tassel. There you go. That's good enough. Good enough for horseshoes. Okay. Now, so now I stitched this right on. I used a very narrow blanket stitch on there. We're going to do a lot of blanket stitching on Monday, and which will be good. Make blanket stitching on Monday's live stream. What I have planned, I can't show it to you yet because I can't show it to you till Monday, but it's going to be much different than this one here. But I've been working on Monday's plan as well, and it's going to be nice in my own humble opinion. Now I'm going to stitch this on using French knots, and so I've got to where I like French. Well, I started up here with French knots here. I still have to go 4 more in there because on this piece here is eyelet lace that I tea-dyed, and each one of the little sections of the flower I'm putting a French knot in the middle. And so that's what I'm doing here, is I'm just going to stitch this on by doing a series of French knots. I bring the thread up from the bottom, and then I take the needle and put it down here at the fabric level, and I wrap around 3 times. I wrap that around there. Now I'm holding on to that where I just wrapped, and I'm putting that needle back in very close to where I just come out of, and then I pull it gently from the bottom, and there's the knot. And just pull it gently when you do them, because when I first started making them, I think I just used too much of my farm power in there, and it would pull the thread all the way through, and then I didn't end up with a nice knot. But I started learning that I have to be a little bit gentle and a little bit slow. And so I get the thread through, I wrap it 1, 2, 3 times, and then I'm holding the thread still after wrapping it, put that needle back through very close to where it came out. I'm still holding that thread. I'm still holding this thread through right here where it came, where I wrapped it. I'm going to hold that still, not real tight, but just kind of now trying to get that needle through. Okay, I'm going to just put my finger on there, get my pliers. I don't know why my thread, my hands just aren't doing what they want to do. No, see, I've got my finger on there. I got my finger on the knot. And then just pull it. So instead of holding that thread, I just kind of held my finger on the knot. And that works the same way. So, and then put 1 more knot on there. If I can get the needle through. I still haven't learned all the ins and outs of all the needles. Now, some needles are sharper than others. Some needles haven't got hardly any point at all. And so, and so there are different needles for different things that you might do. So, and I haven't, this one's not got a real sharp point. Okay, I'm going to wrap 1, 2, 3, put that back in, very near where it came out. Reach underneath and pull. And just kind of hold that still, that piece of thread, and there, and just pull until that knot, you see, if you keep pulling it, you could keep pulling that knot right out. And so we don't want to do that. So then I'm going to go underneath. I'm just make a little, tie it off so that it doesn't come undone. And so it's almost like making another knot, another French knot on the bottom. But anyway, that's how that goes. And so there, I put that piece on. I put this piece of lace here. I put that there, a button. And then, okay, I wanna stitch this part on. See, I'm not gonna stay for a long time. And I think for right here, I'm just going to, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to get myself a cup of tea. Oh, wait a minute. That I had too far down because I don't have this covered. So I got to scoot you up here, sweetie. Okay. Well, let's take that pin out. Now, let me see how I'll do that. Like this. And then I think I'm just going to borrow stitch, which is the in and out running straight stitch. And I'm just going to go across to hold. Okay, I'm going to tack it a little bit stronger on the very end there. I just cover everything. My hand is big as a blanket, and I seem to cover things up. Nobody can see what I'm doing. It's a secret. Keep everything a secret. And I'm just going to go through with just a little running stitch across this little piece of lace that I wanted up here, and I can pull that out of there, and my jewelry that I'm wearing here, my ring and my 2 bracelets, those just came in Happy Mail from Cordula today. If you watched that video of my unboxing of, she didn't get her box today. I sent her, and we sent our boxes out on the same day. She sent me a box, and I sent her a box on the same day, and she did not get hers today. So we decided her post office up there, we blamed it on her post office because they're working the warp speed of a turtle. And so she didn't get hers today. I was really hoping she'd get hers today too. And I did hear from Kendra. She got her birthday present today. Well, it wasn't actually a birthday present. I sent her a Happy Mail. I mean, I sent her a door prize that she won Monday, but I added to it. Which sometimes I do, and she got it today. But then I learned after I mailed it off that it was her birthday, and I thought, oh, well, then that's perfect, because I sent her that little extra something, and so then that's a nice surprise for her birthday, which she said that she did like that, so I'm glad for that. Okay, so she got hers today, so I don't know why Cordula didn't get hers. Okay. There. Now, whew, I have got no strength in my hands today. So, there. So now I have this here, this here. Now, I still got to do the French knots up here. And I think I really am fascinated with buttons today. I'm not sure exactly where or why or how or when or whatever, but if I had, oh, look at these. These are almost vintage looking. They might be vintage. I don't know. I'm not one that can tell the difference between vintage and old or retro or any of them things. So I call them Alvora. V-O-R-A. Vintage, old, retro, antique. Any of them. But now this has got that metal. It's held on there with metal. They put that metal loop on there to hold the button on, and then you have to have like rocket science tools to get that out of there. Oh, there, I think I got that out of there. So this is awesome. This is that's a really pretty button. That's really pretty button. Okay. I didn't turn off all my notification sounds apparently because I'm still getting some, which I don't mind them at all, but I do know some people when they're re-listening to my videos, they don't like to hear all them notifications. I guess that gets on their nerves. But I understand that though. There was a time in my life when birds, the tweet of birds, if there was birds outside, there were birds anywhere, they like would echo in my head, and I just couldn't listen to birds tweeting. But now that doesn't bother me anymore, so I don't know why it bothered me. Now I love the sound of birds, but there for a while, I mean, and that's been like 30 years ago, that or more, that I just couldn't handle the sound of birds. And not that I didn't like them, it's just like it would echo. The sounds would just echo in my head. Something fierce. It was kind of weird. But now now it's not like that anymore. So I'm glad of that because I love the sound of birds. So what if I just put a big button and then a couple of small buttons? Let's see. It'd be fun if I could find something with a little green tint to it, but I don't know. I'll find one after I'm all done, right? Ooh, that one is neat too. Oh gosh, I love buttons. Now that one is neat too. That's neat too. It's almost like a shell. It's almost like, it's very textured and it's almost like a little shell. And this one's kind of purple, so I think I'll put that back in the box. And maybe a little cluster of buttons right here. But this one here, not two of these though. Yeah, I'm not sure that black one, see, I shouldn't give it this much thought. I should not give it that much thought, but I'm thinking a lighter one. Lighter one. Just a minute, I'm finding one. That one's almost like transparent. No, that one won't do either. Why is these buttons giving me this little bit of... Ooh, what is this? Ooh. Okay, I would say this one is vintage. I think I would say that one is old. That's metal on the back with a hoop and a loop, but it's fabric. And it's got the green in there that would match this. Although this is a shank button, and these ones are not shank buttons. Okay, I'm thinking, now, if I use a shank button, I would want to use that. I would want to have something behind it, like a fabric flower or something. But I've been here now for almost 40 minutes, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these, I'm gonna, what I did with that? I lose things real terrible. I lose things real terrible. Okay, we'll go back with this. I was looking for another spool that I had out here that was green, but this is going to work. And I'm going to just get that put into the eye of this needle, to the eye of the storm. And I'm going to put these two on here for sure. And then I am going to use that button, but I'm not sure where, because I think that button is perfect, because it's fabric and the colors are perfect, which I do not go so much for color. I mean, I like very colorful things, and I don't do a lot of color coordinating things. That just usually isn't me. My clothes don't usually match. Nothing matches. I wear 2 earrings that don't match, and I'm not all that matchy. And I dare anybody to tell me I'm wrong. I'll punch them right in the schnoz. Not really. I wouldn't punch anybody ever in the schnoz. And so I'm going to put these 2 for sure. They're going to be on here. And somebody told me that this kind of fabric, this Tommy Bahama or whatever it is like a fancy. Well, I didn't buy no fancy. Although I do think I did buy this. I do think I bought this. I bought this through an auction that Care Hart was having for Daffy. And I think that's where I got this, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, because I was mistaken once before. So I still could be. So those 2 buttons look good right there. With this one here, these 2, this is a button, here's a cluster of 3. And here I might want to make this a cluster of 3 too. I'm not sure how. This one I want definitely this button to be here. Oh, then I have a button here. This is a flower. I've got to finish these up. I may still do one more video this week, maybe Sunday. Maybe I'll do one on Sunday, depending how I feel on Sunday, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is for today. As this how far I went with my art piece of my slow stitching. And I'll probably tonight I'll finish these little, put those little knots up there. They need to go there. And not real sure. Now see, if I put that right there, that would be kind of neat, because it's kind of thick. This is kind of thick. So if I put a shanked button right there, it kind of would fit right in there, and it wouldn't wobble. See, I don't want it to wobble. I'll leave that sit right there just for a little minute, because that might be what I'll do. And then I'm going to, let me reach up here. I moved my table over. This whole table I moved over about a foot. And I moved my ironing board out of there, and then moved the table over just so I could kind of rearrange a little bit here. So now I have to stand up to reach my books. But that's okay, because that's a little exercise that I need to stand up. So I'm going to read out of You Are Stronger Than You Know, and I'm going to find something here. Let's find some. Let's open right here. Okay, here, this is good. I've read this one before, but I'm going to read this one again. Now, this here book, like you know, is You Are Stronger Than You Know, Words of Hope and Encouragement for Someone Living with a Chronic Illness. And what I opened to today, it says, help others know what not to say. 15 things to say, 15 things not to say to someone with a chronic illness or invisible illness. So many. Okay, you don't look sick. You don't say that. You're too young to be sick. Everyone gets tired. You're just having a bad day. Now, remember, these are things not to say. It must be nice not having to go to work or go to school. You need to get more exercise. I wish I had time to take a nap. I wish I had time to take a nap. The power of positive thinking. Just push through it. It will get better. Just be patient. Have you tried this or that or whatever? You should stop this or that or whatever. It's all in your head. You're just stressed. You're depressed. You're anxious. You need to get out more. You take too many medications. These are 15 things that you should not say to somebody with an invisible or chronic illness. And this is so true. And I need to even, because I know I have said these things. I have said those things myself. But then I have had things like that said to me, and I know how it makes me feel. So these are good things. But then right here it says, and how to encourage you. These are 10 things you should say to someone with a chronic illness. Is, I believe you. Can I come over and hang out? Can I bring you food? Or can I come over and help out around the house? I know how hard you are trying. Any kind of hello or checking in after not seeing them for a while. You are so strong. I know how hard this was for you. Thanks for using your energy to spend time with me. Don't feel bad if you have to cancel plans at the last minute. I understand. Sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing. Just a hug or lending an ear. I know this isn't your fault. Bonus. When all else fails and you aren't sure what to say, I wish I knew what to say, but I care about you and I'm here for you. And so those are 10 things you do say to somebody who is, because you don't always look ill. Somebody can be very ill, but you cannot see it. You cannot see it on the outside. I'm just going to, as one example, I have a condition that's called sarcoidosis. With this condition, I have to avoid vitamin D. That because vitamin D aggravates it, puts it in a flare, whatever. And so I have to limit my time outside in the sun because that's where your body gets most of its vitamin D. But I don't look sick. And I actually don't really feel sick with this issue. But if I do spend too much time out in the sun, I don't drink a lot of milk. I just avoid vitamin D. And because my body produces it on its own from this condition that I have. And so, but I don't look sick. And it's hard for me even to tell somebody, I'm sorry I can't hang with you today because I just don't feel good, whatever, because I look fine and it's hard. So just so you know, this is very, these things are very important. They're very important to know to say the right things to somebody who does have a chronic illness or one of those illnesses that do not show on the outside. So with that, I'm going to let you go and quit preaching. And I want to say God bless you. And I want to ask God to watch over you every step you take and every move you make. And I will see you on the next video. Hopefully maybe tomorrow. But we'll see how I feel. And so God bless each and every one of you.